The apology had been forming in her chest long before she reached the glass doors. It wasn't just about being late. It was about everything that came with it. The missed bus, the frantic run through crowded streets, the pounding fear that this job, the one thing holding her fragile life together, was already slipping through her fingers. Emily Carter pushed the door open, breath uneven, her hair still damp from the morning drizzle. Her hands trembled as she checked the time again, even though she already knew the truth. 37 minutes late. Her stomach twisted. She stepped inside anyway. The lobby of Hale Enterprises was everything her life wasn't. Polished, controlled, perfect. Marble floors reflected the soft glow of chandeliers. People moved with purpose, heels clicking, voices low and confident. Emily didn't belong here, but she needed this. She hurried to the reception desk, offering a tight, apologetic smile. I'm so sorry. I know I'm late. There was an accident on 5th and— You're expected upstairs, the receptionist said coolly, not even looking up. Emily's chest tightened. Expected. That didn't sound good. The elevator ride felt too fast and not fast enough at the same time. Her mind raced through explanations, excuses, anything that might soften what she knew was coming. When the doors opened, silence greeted her. The office floor was unusually still, and at the far end of the hallway, standing near the glass-walled conference room, was him. Daniel Hale, CEO, billionaire. The kind of man people whispered about. He stood tall, composed, dressed in a perfectly tailored suit that probably cost more than Emily made in a year. His expression was unreadable, but his eyes were sharp. Waiting for her. Emily swallowed hard and forced her feet forward. Mr. Hale, You're late! His voice wasn't raised. It didn't need to be. It cut cleanly through the air. I know, she said quickly, her voice shaking. I'm so sorry. There was a boy, he was hit by a car and no one was stopping and I couldn't just— You couldn't just what? He interrupted, his tone cool. Leave him, she said, her voice breaking despite her effort to stay composed. He was bleeding. He was alone. I called an ambulance. I stayed until they came. This is a workplace, Ms. Carter, not a place for excuses. Her heart sank. They needed my statement, she added softly. I didn't have a choice. There is always a choice, Daniel replied. And then, without hesitation, You're fired! The words landed harder than she expected. For a moment, she just stood there, frozen. Not because she didn't understand, but because she had known, deep down, that this might happen. Still, knowing didn't make it hurt less. I understand, she whispered, blinking back tears she refused to let fall. Thank you for the opportunity. She turned before her voice could betray her completely, before he could see how much this job meant, before he could see how everything was about to fall apart. And then she walked away. The hospital smelled like antiseptic and fear. Daniel Hale moved through the corridors with urgency he rarely allowed himself to show. His assistant struggled to keep up, speaking quickly. They said the boy was brought in about an hour ago. Hit by a car. Critical condition, but stable now. Where is he? Daniel demanded. Room 312. Daniel didn't wait for anything else. When he pushed open the hospital room door, the world narrowed to a single point. His son. Liam lay in the hospital bed, small and pale, a stark contrast to the machines surrounding him. Tubes, monitors, wires, it was too much. Too fragile. Too close to something Daniel couldn't control. For the first time in years, fear gripped him fully. A doctor stepped forward. Mr. Hale, your son is stable. He was very lucky. Lucky? Daniel's voice was tight. He was hit by a car. He would not have made it without immediate help, the doctor said carefully. The woman who found him stopped the bleeding and stayed until emergency services arrived. She likely saved his life. Daniel stilled. A woman? He asked. The doctor nodded. Yes, she refused to leave until we took over. Even rode with him in the ambulance. Something in Daniel's chest shifted. Where is she? He asked. She left not long ago. We asked her to stay for paperwork, but she seemed worried. Said she had somewhere important to be. Daniel's mind raced. A boy hit by a car. This morning. A woman who stayed. A woman who was late. His breath caught. No, it couldn't be. Do you have her name? He asked sharply. The doctor checked the chart. Emily Carter. The world seemed to tilt. Daniel didn't remember leaving the room. Didn't remember the drive. Didn't remember anything except the echo of her voice. I couldn't just leave him. And his own, cold and final. "You're fired!" Emily sat on the edge of her small bed, staring at nothing. The apartment was quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes your thoughts louder. Her uniform jacket was still folded beside her, like a reminder of something she no longer had. She had done the right thing. She knew that. So why did it feel like everything was falling apart? A soft knock broke the silence. Emily frowned. She wasn't expecting anyone. When she opened the door, her breath caught. Daniel Hale stood there, in her doorway, in a place that couldn't have been more different from his world. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then he said quietly, "It was my son." Emily blinked. "What?" "The boy," he clarified, his voice softer than she had ever heard it. "The one you helped this morning." Her heart skipped. "Oh, he's okay?" she asked quickly, concern replacing everything else. "He's alive," Daniel said. "Because of you." Relief flooded her face instantly, genuine and unfiltered. "Thank God," she whispered. Daniel watched her closely. No hesitation, no expectation, no anger, just relief. For his son, something inside him shifted again, deeper this time. "I made a mistake," he said. Emily looked at him, surprised. "I didn't listen," he continued. "I didn't ask questions. I saw a late employee, not the person behind it." She stayed silent. "I came here to apologize," he added. That seemed to catch her off guard more than anything. "You don't have to—" "I do," he said firmly. "Because what you did today, most people wouldn't have stopped. Most people would have kept walking." Emily looked down slightly. "I just did what anyone should do." "But they don't," Daniel replied. Silence settled between them, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was real. "I'd like you to come back," he said after a moment. "To your job." Emily hesitated. Not because she didn't need it, but because something had changed. "You fired me," she said gently. "I know," he admitted. "And I was wrong." She searched his face. "For pride, for arrogance, for anything that would make this easier to refuse." But all she saw was sincerity and something else, gratitude. "For what it's worth," he added, "you didn't just save my son today." Emily frowned slightly. "What do you mean?" Daniel exhaled slowly. "You reminded me what matters," he said. "And I think I forgot that a long time ago." Her expression softened. The world wasn't suddenly fixed. Her problems didn't disappear. But something about this moment felt important, human. "Okay," she said quietly. A small smile touched Daniel's lips. "Okay," he repeated. And for the first time in a long time, the distance between two completely different lives didn't feel so impossible. Because kindness doesn't care about status. Because humanity doesn't recognize titles. And sometimes, the smallest act of selflessness can change everything.